Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jack and I'm an analyst working within the civil service. In my last video, I went through the entire structure of the civil service interview process. And in this video today, I'm going to be talking to you about the seeing the bigger picture behavior. From my experience, this is probably the most difficult one to wrap your head around. So today I've got a short video where I'm going to go a bit more in depth about the behavior and how I would answer a competency style based question. I'm going to share with you a technique that I use to kind of get my mind into the wider picture of things and help you to see things from the wider organizational lens. If you find this video helpful, please consider hitting the like button below and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Seeing the bigger picture is all about how your role and the stuff that you do daily contributes to the wider organizational objectives. Now, the first thing you may think is, well, Jack, my role doesn't exactly contribute because I'm not involved in the day-to-day outputs of our business. That is wrong. So regardless of what role you work in, whether it's maybe an enabling function such as HR, finance, IT, without you, the organization physically cannot function, which means that, we can't pay people, we can't provide laptops and machinery, etc. You need to kind of switch your mind to think, no, actually, I'm enabling people to do their roles, which means that the organization can then go on to achieve their organizational objectives. Therefore, you are directly contributing to the organizational aims, and it's just about tweaking your mindset to kind of think that way. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a technique that I use to kind of get my head up to that strategic level when I'm thinking of a situation or a task for the interview. I'm now going to share an example with you of a question that you could be asked regarding seeing the bigger picture at interview. I would encourage you to maybe pause the video here and think about a situation that you've been in, and then we'll go through my thought process when answering a question like this. So the question is, give me an example of an achievement which has contributed directly to your department goals. Right, we're back from pausing the video. I know the majority of you probably didn't, but if you did, leave a like below just so I know who did. The technique that I would recommend for this example or similar would be to ask why as many times until you get to the strategic level. So you may have heard something similar in the past with the 5 whys, and essentially you say the statement or the situation and you keep asking why. And what I use this for is to kind of keep asking why until I get to the overall strategic level. Okay, we're looking for an achievement or a task that you've completed recently that has contributed directly to the goals of the department. So this is all about, right, what have I done recently which has helped the business to achieve its wider goals? I'm going to give a hypothetical example to show that I think this technique works wherever you work. So I'm going to give an example of someone who works in recruitment. I imagine there's been a situation recently, probably over the past year, where most recruitment departments have had to switch to remote recruitment and remote onboarding due to the pandemic. So why do we need to switch to remote recruitment? Well, we need to switch because despite the ever-changing conditions, we still need to recruit people. Why do we still need to recruit people? Well, we already have an amount of roles that need to be filled, and these have been deemed important or essential by the business. Why do we need to fill these roles? Well, we need to fill these roles because it's been decided that these are the roles needed in order for the organizational to achieve its goals. And if we don't have those roles, then we run the risk of not hitting our department goals. You can already see there, just from asking why a few times, we already get to that strategic level. And this is a technique that I've used previously to help me kind of think about how my work applies to the wider organizational aim. So we can see by switching to remote recruitment, we are directly contributing to the organizational objectives. Because if we couldn't switch to remote recruitment, or if we hadn't completed this task, the organization wouldn't be able to recruit people, which means it wouldn't have enough people in these roles that have been allocated, which means that outputs may suffer, which means that then we can't achieve our departmental goals. I hope that kind of illustrates how my thought process goes with this, by asking why each time gets you to that high level and allows you to see big picture. The bonus of this is that once you've asked why and you've gone through the iterations, it allows you to look back and say, well, if we hadn't done this, this is what would happen. For instance, if we hadn't switched to remote recruitment, we wouldn't have been able to recruit anyone, we wouldn't have been able to fill key roles, outputs would have suffered, etc. And you can see how it goes on. And I think that's also really good to do in your interview. If you can say at the end, without this, this would have happened, I think it shows that awareness of how your role fits in even further. Okay, that is it for this video, everyone. I wanted to make this one quite quick and simple and just hopefully highlight a few tips and tricks with regards to seeing the bigger picture. I may do this for further behaviors if you find them helpful, so let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day, take care, and I'll see you soon.